real solutions to money, relationships, wellness, and more. Shine a light onto your day and into your life. Power Your Life with Dr. Joanne White.
Welcome to Power Your Life. I'm Joanne White, your host. A few weeks ago, gold winner Olympian Bruce Jenner spoke to Diane Sawyer and to the world about a secret that he's kept in his entire life. Here's Bruce Jenner now.
I look at it this way. Bruce, always telling a lie. He's lived a lie his whole life about who he is. And I can't do that any longer.
A courageous Jenner admitting that his truth is that he is in fact a she, a person who is transgender. So how will people treat Bruce now? How important is Jenner's message of self-worth to society? Here with us are two people who know firsthand what it's like to embrace your true identity. Welcome, Rain Dove and Farrah Krenek. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's really my pleasure. True identity, what does it mean, Rain Dove, to really embrace your true identity?
Well, I think that, first of all, that word true is really important. Being integrous with yourself and being integrous with what you love about yourself and what you love about how you are and how you like to interact with the world is one of the basic foundations of developing that identity and developing that relationship with yourself. Oftentimes we use relationships with others to define what we are and who we are, but embracing your true identity means having that personal relationship with yourself and understanding that the most unique thing you can be is you, and being sated by what you discover.
And isn't that wonderful? The most unique thing you can be is you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Farrah, what do you think about what Bruce, actually she, because she is she now, what do you think about what she said?
I mean, I've always admired Bruce, and the moment I hear the name Bruce Jenner, the first thing that comes to mind is power. Power because of passion. She's always been a very passionate person, passionate about her career, passionate about her family. The wonderful example for the youth. I remember in this one episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I remember that her ex-wife, Kris Jenner, was purchasing some medical marijuana, and you know, Bruce found out about that, and she just immediately, get it out of my house, this can't be here, you know, we have teenagers. So she has been an example, a role model, a hero, so many things. I mean, I really can't name them all, but what I can say is an example of a passionate person, doing everything with love, and that's what we need.
So how do you think her coming out as transgender is going to change the face of what's going on with transgender and with the community and with a lot of legislation and political stuff that's going on right now?
Well, genuinely, I think that what she is doing for herself is in fact for herself. She's not trying to prove a point to anybody, but I do commend her for having the courage to do so, because nowadays, you know, I have this argument, and I've created a lot of enemies by stating this, but people that are more old school would understand when I say that we live in a digital society where pretty much people are so desensitized from actually interacting with one another. They're so used to texting and emailing and
right.
FaceTiming that it's very easy to hang up on someone. It's very easy to not respond to an email. And Bruce, she's coming out to the world, and basically for over 6 decades, she has entertained us as being an athlete, being on a commercial, being on a television show, being on a reality show. And now she wants a little bit of privacy, and now she wants us to give back some of the respect that she's always given anybody that's loved or hated her.
Right.
Give it to her.
I agree. But how do you think, Rain Dove, how do you think celebrities coming out as transgender and gay, how do you think that's going to change and affect society?
I think that one of the things people are worried about, especially parents with their children, because I think the foundation for children to know what's right or wrong or what's not okay or what's okay really starts in the home, and it starts in your first friendships, you know, your first relationships with your parents and your friends. And I think one of the things that happens is that parents are afraid that their children will not be able to obtain success. They won't be able to get the basic human needs that we all primarily want: food, shelter, water, and validation. When celebrities come out and they say, this is how I identify, I am successful, I have food, shelter, water, validation on a massive scale, it says to parents, don't worry, your child can grow up. And it says to young people looking up, don't worry, you can grow up and you can be successful and obtain those things, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And I think that's really a big thing that you know, will help.
Right. You know, I love that concept. So don't be afraid to be who you are. Be who you are, and feel good about it, and be able to put that out there, because, like you said, you may not actually have to fear about the basics. Although I will say that there's some political stuff going on that is depriving certain people of the basics right now in terms of health care and other stuff. What does it mean to be self-categorized?
Well, it's funny, you know, being an actress, I've seen films, not too many films, but I've seen films that mean something to me. So if I quote something from that, I identify with that. One of my favorite films is Interview with a Vampire with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. And there was just this interesting bit there where Antonio Banderas told Brad Pitt that the irony of a vampire life, if you want to call it a life, because it's actually their death, what kills them in the end is the fact that the world changes and they do not. They stay the same. So my message to people that don't understand what that means, when people say you have to change with the times, you have to understand, you're going to give yourself a heart attack if you don't take the time and listen. You're killing yourself with frustration, because this is going to happen if you accept it or don't. And the thing is that if we have somebody as lovable and as wonderful as Bruce, that's having the courage to say her story to the entire world and say, well, this is who I am, and guess what? This is the person I've always been. You know, I just had a costume on. You know?
And I think that's so important. We are out of time, and I'd love to have you back again, both of you. Thanks so much. Still ahead, what it's like to live in the shadow of a celebrity sibling and make your own self known. Rachel McCord, the sister of actress Anna Lynn McCord, will fill us in when Power Your Life returns in just a moment.